Hi everyone, this is Mary Michon at Bensell Greenhouse, and today we're going to talk about spider plants. So the chlorophytum, or a spider plant, is one of the more common plants or house plants that a lot of people enjoy because they're just so easy and versatile to grow in your house. They're just beautiful. You have all different varieties. Like we have this guy that has a little bit of a yellow tinge to him with a nice dark green. We've got the regular spider that has the white on the white lines on the center of the leaf, and then they have what's called the reverse, where it has the white on the edging. And so when you put them together, you obviously can tell the difference between them. And they're just really a fun plant to grow. They produce a lot of babies that you can use and give as gifts. Or I know a lot of people love growing things now in water, and a spider plant is really a perfect plant if you've got a little wall mounted. I know those are coming out, wall mounted, or just vases where you like to grow them. You can look at these spiders with these nice root systems that grow off the plant, and they call them pups, and you can just place those in water and that root system grows beautifully. Don't forget though, once it fills out the container of water that you have, that you do need to trim the roots, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You need to trim the roots, and you do need to change your water frequently just to keep it clean. So we have a couple different spider plants here. This guy, it has a baby that's growing. You can see the root system on it. It's got a lot of little of the stems with the little pups hanging off the side of it. And I'm just going to get it out of here and show you what the root system looks like. Again, we keep ours in plastic because it has a lot of give, because when these root systems start filling out the pot, they will just, you will almost sometimes have to cut the plant out of the pot. So you want to tend to maintenance the plant before it gets to that point. But the root systems get these bulbous things on the ends of them, and it holds a lot of moisture. So if this plant goes dry in between watering, realize that there's a lot of moisture in here that plant is taking up. So it's really a wonderful, very forgiving plant to grow in the house. Lighting on spiders are moderate light to bright light, and you water accordingly. Fertilizing needs just a basic fertilizer, a well-balanced fertilizer like a 10-10-10, a 20-20-20. That's really all they need. And you will see if the coloring on the leaves tend to fade a little bit, look a little more translucent, it's time for you to fertilize. And if it's developing a lot of those stems with pups on the side, that main mother plant is going to need some fertilizer to support all that additional growth that's hanging off the side. So yesterday we had someone bring in their spider plant. This one's called Spider Bonnie, and you can recognize it because it has these orange stems that develop the pups as opposed to the green. And the Bonnie tends to have more of a curl and a twist to the base of the plant. And so this person brought this plant in, and frankly, it looks quite healthy. It's just so incredibly congested, and there are babies and pups all over. I like when a spider plant has the mother plant in the center with just a few strands of the pups. If you have a spider that is just loaded with babies off to the side, realize that is stressing the mother plant out, and eventually something is going to happen where you may not be able to recover that plant. So cut some of those stems off, follow that stem to the base of the plant, and trim it away. So what I'm going to do now is just show you how to maintenance these plants. I'm going to start with our green one here and just show you. And I say this a lot about a lot of different plants that we have. We would always be up potting our plants to the most maximum size pots if we never trim the roots. And realize it is a-okay to trim the roots on your plants. It's just a matter of how you do it. You're not going to be rough and rugged, but you want a nice sharp knife. And I'm looking at these right here, and I'm just gonna slice away. I'm gonna slice this away, and you can even take a scissors and cut through it. All right, I'm gonna cut a third of that root system away. I've got my pot here. I'm gonna just throw some soil down on the bottom. I'm going to sink it down there a little bit because I did see at the very top of the pot there was a root sticking out. I want that covered. I'm going to get it back inside this pot that it came out of. And I'm going to top dress it with a little bit of soil. And I think what I might do, because it is developing a couple different strands on it, I might just take one off. I love the look of just one or two hanging, and then more little spiderette plants will develop at the end. And now you're ready to go. It's probably going to be good for the next 3 to 6 months again before you have to do it. All right, everyone, let's clean this guy up, and I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing. I'll kind of talk a little bit through it. But this plant is really packed, and I just tend to look, I take it and I pull all the branches back, all of the stems back, and kind of look at a nice growing point where there's a nice clump of adult plants inside the pot. And I'm going to just take my really sharp serrated saw-like knife, and I'm going to cut these guys away. And the beauty of this is, this person now may end up with at least 3 hanging baskets if they so choose, because you can cut this into 3 pieces. I'm going to show you how I'm doing one, and I'm just going to grab it like this. So we're just going to pull all this brown off. I'm going to look and see how many babies are growing. The potential now for more babies to grow is greater because the plant is not so congested in its pot. And I'm just going to take a few of these guys away, take all this brown off. The only reason this is brown is just because it was so congested. Oftentimes, if you see brown tips on your spiders, sometimes that could be it's too close to a window, it's getting too much light, maybe not enough humidity or enough moisture in it. And you do, like I said, do need to fertilize. So spider plants are pretty easy. So I'm going to take a little bit of the bottom root off here and get this guy all cleaned up. And this seems to be a beautiful size. And I'm just going to place this now into a hanging basket and just take my soil and fill it in. Give this guy a nice good drink. You don't need to fertilize it right away. You can wait a couple weeks and then give it a good fertilizing. And then you really don't have to fertilize it again for another month or so. These plants are pretty easy, but they're wonderful. They're great for cleaning the air. They're just an easy first-time plant, especially if you're new to plants. Spiders are always a good go-to. And then just a quick mention is we've had people coming into our greenhouse to buy spider plants for their cats. And cats, number one, just love the look of the spider. They love the babies hanging off. I'm sure at points, if the wind is blowing, they might look a little bit like little insects fluttering. They like to play in them if your cat is a plant lover. And just realize that they are non-toxic. They're safe for both dogs and cats. But the other thing about a spider plant is they are mildly hallucinogenic. You can kind of compare what a spider plant chewing on the leaf is, very similar to catnip. Not to worry though, the cats aren't going to get addicted to it. They may though, once they bite into it, may want to continue to go back. So it might be a plant that you're going to need to hang higher and away from your cats so that they don't demolish it. Good luck, everyone. Check on the root systems of your spider plants, thin them out if necessary, remove the pups from them if there gets to be too many, and just enjoy the look and ease of having a spider in your house.